Hey guys, Drax here with some highlights and thoughts on the critical mass playtest last night. I just want to start off by saying I really enjoyed the playtest. It was a lot of fun with constant large fights across the map. Getting to test out the new jump jets, Daimyo and meltdown alert in these large battles was really great. I think there was over 600 players at the test and most stayed for the whole thing, so the test went very well indeed. I want to say congrats to Vanny, which happened to be the faction that I chose to play as. With 41% population, it was a guaranteed victory though, so Paul's Mohawk will be going purple. At least it's not red though, right Paul? Alongside the rest of the squad, I think we gave the new additions and the combined arms changes a good test. Starting with the Mag Rider, we jumped in and you could quite clearly see that the main weapon doesn't do as much damage anymore. And there was also the thing with the PPA I was using on top of the Mag Rider, and that didn't seem to do as much damage to infantry either. But it did seem to be a bit more effective obviously against armor now, because it can deal some damage to tanks. It's pretty good. I still enjoyed it, but it's definitely a different playstyle to what it was before. A lot more direct hits needed than splash damage. Then I was able to test out the Daimyo for a bit as I took to infantry. I expected this weapon to be OP in a lot of ways, but it actually feels kind of, well, the velocity feels different than I thought it would be. Like lower velocity, I think it says 600, but it felt more like 350. This could be a problem with lag on the server. I had about 100 ping because it's a US East server. I'm playing from the UK obviously. The hit detection at time was a bit iffy. You could shoot someone. It looked like I shot someone in the head quite a few times with the Daimyo and they didn't die. And it also had this damage catch up where you would shoot someone and 5 seconds later the server would catch up. I don't know what it's like with the test server, but might not be used to that kind of numbers. Then I went on and tested out the ambusher jump jets a bit. And I got to say this was probably the most fun I had during the playtest. They're great fun, and I got my favourite addition of probably the critical mass update. You literally fly in and pretty much wreck. You can get in places where you couldn't before. Such an aggressive playstyle. Reminds me of Star Wars Battlefront a lot. That's what they intended. You got some epic C4 kills with big groups of people. You can fly clean over the top and the C4 will drop pretty much straight down. Actually, the momentum of the jump jets doesn't take the C4 with it. You do have to run safe fall with these jump jets, otherwise you will take damage. So I think I was running the max tier obviously, because might as well on the test server. But I think you can get away with a lower tier alongside it. Maybe it would be a good idea just to give these ambusher jump jets a built-in sort of safe fall, so you could use a different implant instead. But maybe there's enough benefit with the jump jets already, like being so good. I think that they are so good for getting in between large groups of enemies quickly and dealing a lot of damage. So that's sort of the playstyle with these jump jets, and I can see them being used a lot on the live servers. I'm definitely going to be equipping them on my lighter. So me and Nico then took to Harassing. And it was quite evident that we had more survivability than you do on live. The lower damage from rocket launchers against the Harasser meant that we could get in between larger groups and stay alive for a lot longer. Probably the only thing we were worried about was prowlers on the lockdown. The Scythe's PPA I took to the skies for a bit to take out some infantry on the ground, and it definitely feels weaker. I felt like I had been more accurate. Once again, similar to the Harasser's PPA, that it had to be direct damage and that the splash damage wasn't doing too much. So it's good because that encourages more skilled play from the air. But I also noticed that the air hammer, I think it's got more direct damage now and something to do with splash damage being changed, that it was still wrecking. The air hammer was wrecking a lot, and it seemed like it was doing it from quite a range as well. So few balances there. That's obviously still not finished with the combined arms. So to sum up, the vehicle play was overall a lot of fun, even though weapons did indeed take longer to kill, especially against other armor. I think we had some really great moments. Combined arms to me so far looks to be a positive for the game in the future. Just got to remember that it's not completed yet, and there are obviously still some imbalances that they have to work on. Some balance passes that are going to come in what I think should be in the near future. Hopefully once they've done that and we can get these changes, they might get there hopefully before the new year, and we can see the effect of this on the live servers. We didn't really test out the new grenade other than throwing it a couple times to repair stuff, but simply put, I don't think it's strong enough, and I think the repair needs to go up or it needs to stack in some way. I think just pick the repair rate up and it should be fine. Just before the lockdown came into effect, a massive air battle took place at the Crown. This is near the end, but sadly I couldn't take part in this because I didn't have the resources. But I did get some nice footage from the air pad at Crossroads, so this was good to see. And you just don't get to see this sort of thing on the live servers anymore, so really nice to see a massive air battle going across the skies of Endor. Since we were playing the Meltdown alert with a go to change Paul's hair to the colour to the one we wanted, a lot of people chose Vanu, and this meant that the alert played out differently than it would on live. Normally the side that starts the alert would have the pop, but the alert was started in TR's favour for this one, with them having what I think was the lowest pop by around about 50 people. Now I like the mechanics, but since the test didn't really show off what it would be like on live, the devs have said there will be another playtest next week with population controls enabled, and we probably won't be fighting for anything other than to lock the continent so we can test it properly. Probably still be some kind of reward with the analyst helmet. And anyone wondering about that analyst helmet, like when you're going to get it, when I got mine it took like 2 weeks, so just be patient guys, and someone will probably sort that out and just credit it to your account later on. So hopefully, yeah, when we get the next test coming up, this should balance it out better and get people to switch if the pop of one faction is too high, which I'll look out for. And pretty much the next one that comes up, whatever faction has the lowest pop, I'm going to be playing on that side so we can test it out a bit better. But hopefully everyone who joined really enjoyed it. I definitely did. And I think I've enjoyed the playtest more than I've enjoyed the past few weeks playing PlanetSide on the live server. So maybe this overall could be a great change for the game. Make sure you do give your feedback guys if you've got any thoughts on what could be made better in the future. We can make this update overall, when it does come to live, the best it can possibly be. So I'll keep you guys updated with any news of the upcoming playtest. I'm guessing it should be around about the same time next week. That would probably work pretty well. Maybe a bit earlier, I don't know. But maybe on time, that would work. Let's just make sure it's on time. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you next time.
Our team killing anyway.